In this video, I want to talk about how I personally would build a 50K per month agency in 2025 and how I would do that by selling the shovels. Now, this video is going to be about 10 to 15 minutes long, so make sure to stick around. This video has no fancy edits or any, fancy cuts. So if you cannot stand watching through a video for 10 to 15 minutes without, being distracted by your phone or clicking off the video, sorry, you probably won't be able to build a business in the first place, so you might as well click off right now. This video is specifically for any agency owner who wants to scale past 50K a month. Right now, you're maybe, making some money here or there. Maybe it's a bit inconsistent. Maybe you make 10K a month, but you haven't really found that PMF product market fit yet. This video is for you if you want to scale past 50K. So only stay here and actually watch through this entire video if you're actually serious. Now, you've probably heard the term sell the shovels before. And this actually comes from the gold rush back in the days, because during the gold rush, a lot of people wanted to dig and mine for gold, because digging and mining for gold was a good way to make a lot of money if you actually found gold. Now, the problem with that was that the probability of you finding gold was lower than most people anticipated. The people that truly capitalized on the gold rush were the people selling the shovels to the people wanting to mine and dig for gold. And we got to understand one thing here, and this is super important. There is this, hustle mentality going around on the internet, and there's a lot of hustle bros claiming that you just got to work very hard to achieve your goals and build the business you want to build and make a lot of money. But in reality, I actually believe that hustling and working very hard is actually a very small piece of the puzzle. A way larger piece of the puzzle is attention. Back in the days during the gold rush, a lot of attention was drawn towards mining for gold, meaning that's where you could capitalize. That was a market that you could capitalize on and make a lot of money very quickly with minimal effort. Why? Because most of the industry's attention or most of the market's attention went to that direction. And so we got to understand that, especially in today's day and age, as you know, attention equals money. Where the attention goes, the money flows. You've heard that before. So for us to be able to make a lot of money in today's day and age, we have to be where the attention is. Right. Simple. Okay. Where is the attention? The attention is where the trends go. Trends, they come and go very fast, but there are macro trends and there are micro trends. So let me break that down. We have macro trends and we have micro trends. Micro trends might be a certain type of Facebook ad that's working currently, or a certain type of headline that's working right now for the YouTube video, right? But macro trends is, for example, where the industry is headed in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And so what we have to do is we not only have to leverage micro trends to capitalize short term, but we have to position ourselves at the macro trends to make a lot of money long term. Now, I'm getting to the actual actionable advice in just a second here. So we now understand that to make a lot of money in a short period of time with minimal efforts, we have to be where the attention is. We also understand that the attention is where the trends are. And we understand that we got to position ourselves where the macro trends are headed in the next couple of years. Now, what I want to get to here is this. I want to talk about, first of all, the info product industry, okay? A lot of you, and I assume that a lot of you have done this and a lot of your friends have done this because this is a common trend in the industry, have started an agency. And the agency kind of went okay, it was fine, you made some money, maybe you went to 10K a month, and then eventually you closed it down and you pivoted to info products. And trust me, if you didn't do that yet, you will do in the future. And a lot of people hate on this trend very much, but I actually believe that this is a small piece of a large puzzle. And that puzzle being the actual trend that this market is heading into. Currently, the creator economy or the info product market is valued at about $270 billion. And it's estimated to get to about a $500 billion valuation in the next 2 years, meaning the market size will literally double in the next 2 years. And I assume that this is going to also trend upwards after that moving forward. And the reason as to why I think that is that way is because I think a lot of money is going to start moving away from traditional universities. And the reason for that is simple. So I think that a lot of money is going to move away from traditional universities to online courses, online coachings, online consultancies, and any info products that you can buy online. And the reason for that is simple. more and more people will start waking up to the fact that skills is what is needed to make a lot of money. What do I mean by this? If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be an engineer, by all means, go to university, study. That's important, right? But if you don't want to be any of these, categories of jobs that require you to have a lot of theoretical skills and knowledge, then it doesn't really make sense to go to uni. The other way in which it makes sense to go to uni is if you go to an Ivy League university like Columbia, Harvard, Stanford. If you go to any of these universities, also a great play. Why? Because if you go to these universities, you are going to get great connections and relationships with important people that can benefit your career long term. If you do not go to an Ivy League university and an actual high level university, and you do not want to become any of these job segments that actually require a lot of theoretical knowledge, then I genuinely believe going to university is a waste of time and a waste of money. And the reason for it is very simple. Employers and businesses don't pay employees because they have a fucking piece of paper that they got from a university. They couldn't care less. You know why employers and business owners pay people and actually get employees? They pay them to make the business more money than they spend on them, because they want to spend 4K on that new hire and want that new hire producing 40K. Okay, that's how businesses work. They want to get an ROI on what they invest their money into. Now, how do businesses know if they get an ROI from investing into you? They know whether they'll get an ROI or not based upon what? Based upon your skills. Because if you bring certain skills to the table, like marketing, like sales, then they will understand if we bring this person in and we give them that training, then they're likely to achieve XYZ outcome. And that's when they hire you. Now, the problem is you don't need to go through university for 3 years to acquire a skill set. Because say you want to get into sales. Sales is not done and sales is not practiced by studying. Sales is practiced by actually doing sales. And so is pretty much any other skill. Doing the reps, getting feedback on the reps, and then improving the reps and doing them again is what makes people better, and that's what brings people skills. And again, these skills is what gets you paid. And so I'm not here to, sit here and tell you that everybody's going to become a business owner now and everybody's going to run their own online business, because I genuinely don't believe that. I don't believe that more and more people are going to get into entrepreneurship, because sooner rather than later, people are going to start dropping out of business. But I fundamentally believe that a lot of money is going to start moving away from traditional institutions like universities and is going to start moving towards any online info. And that is again for the simple reason that here you can spend 10K or you can spend 20K acquiring a very valuable skill that you can pitch to a business owner and get hired for it and get an actual good salary for. Okay? And so we got to understand this. This is the high-level breakdown of why I believe the info product market is one of the best markets to position yourself in the coming years and coming decades, okay? Now, another trend, by the way, would, for example, be AI, but I'm not going to talk about AI in this video. Maybe I'll shoot a separate video on that in the future. If you want me to do that, just put it down in the comment section right now. So, info products, huge trend. Now, you got to position yourself in the info product industry to capitalize. Okay, how can you do that? Well, either you sell your own info product or you run an agency helping info products scale. I actually do both. So I'm in both of those categories because I know that positioning myself in the right industry at the right time, long term, is going to make me a lot of money. That's the first part. The second part to this that you have to understand is that trust is at an all-time low. Okay, we are in a trust recession. Consumer trust is at an all-time low. People don't trust each other. People don't trust the companies they buy from. People don't trust like anything at all anymore. The news, whatever that may be, people don't trust anything anymore. And that is because we're in a trust recession. Trust is way lower than it ever was, and it's at an all-time low. Now, what's very important to understand here is that to gain trust, you have to spend time with people. If you spend time with people, they get to know you, they get to know your moral codex and your moral compass, and then they can estimate whether they trust you or they don't. So you have to spend time with them. Now, the good thing is you can spend time with them without actually spending time with them. And you can do that through content, through branding, through building up assets that live forever. You record them once and hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people can see it. Same way I'm recording this video right now. This video is going to be consumed by at least a couple hundred people to ideally a couple thousand, maybe 10,000 people. Who knows? We will see, right? But this video gives me a lot of leverage. Why? Because you're right now spending time with me. You get to know me as a person. You get to know how I tick, how I move. You get to know how I make decisions. You get to know who I am. And that, fundamentally speaking, builds a lot more trust and a lot more rapport without me having to spend time with you one-on-one, because that's very unleveraged, right? And so trust is at an all-time low. To actually build trust with people, you have to spend time with them. To spend time with them, you can do that through content and brand in a one-to-many approach, because that's just the most leveraged approach out there. Okay, so we now understand that trust is at an all-time low. What that means is that you have to build trust with people. What that means is you have to spend time with them. That means you have to build a proper brand. And you can do that, through any platform online that's available. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever that may be. And we also understand that the trend is directly pivoting towards the info product market. Now, I told you that this video is going to be actionable. What I want you to do after this video is I want you to assess whether what you're doing right now actually has future, whether it actually has leverage, and whether it's actually something that you see yourself doing for a long period of time. Because the goal in business is not to scale the fastest, it's to stay in business. Because if you stay in business, you make the most amount of money. And what I'm trying to get to here is that if you want to make a lot of money, you clearly have to position yourself where the attention is going to go. And the attention, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is clearly going to go towards the info product market. So you have to position yourself in the info product market one way or another. And you also have to understand that trust goes down and down and down on a daily basis. We're at an all-time low when it comes to consumer trust, meaning you have to build up a proper brand and proper branding to go against that. Now that's high level where I see the most amount of money is going to be made for us in our industry in the coming years and the coming decades. And that's how I'm personally positioning myself as well. And another reason why, by the way, the brand thing is going to be so fundamental and so important is because of AI. Because pretty much anything is going to get replaced by AI. And the people that are going to make money after AI literally replaced everything are the people that A, can handle AI and know how to use it, and B, the people that build up a brand for themselves that are trusted in the marketplace already, because you as a human being are irreplaceable. No one is like you. Your DNA is unique. Meaning, if you can build that brand, you have something that's unique that AI can never replace. So it's actually a way to bulletproof yourself against AI coming in the future as well. So that's how I'm positioning myself. That's where I see the trends going. And that's how I believe you should capitalize on the market trends, the macro market trends in the coming months and years. And if you do this and you do it right, you will be able to make a lot of money. If you want to get to know more about my story and what it is that I actually did these last few years to end up where I'm at right now, then go watch the video that should pop up right here, or just watch the video in the first link down below in the description. If you liked this video and you actually found value in it, leave a like, subscribe for more. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section right now, or text me on IG, is linked down below as well. I'll see you in the next video, and I appreciate your time.